In this video, we're going to take a look at the brand new Wyze Cam Flood Light. What's going on, guys? I'm Jimmy with the General Expert channel here on YouTube. That's right, today we're looking at the just released Wyze Cam Flood Light. I have various Wyze Cams sprinkled around my home. I've got the Wyze Cam V3s, the V2s, and I even have a few of their wireless battery-operated cameras. So I'm no stranger to Wyze products, and I think they're pretty good. But if you're like me and already own these Wyze cameras, then you'll know that there is one major problem with all of these Wyze cams, excluding their battery-powered option, of course. And that problem is, well, in the areas that you actually want these cameras to be, how do you get power to them? I will admit though, over the last month, I have seen them drop quite a few products that pretty much tackle these issues. Now, I think what Wyze has done here is pretty well genius. They've taken your typical, very useful floodlight like this one and turned it into a security light with a camera and more. Let's go ahead and see what's inside the box. Okay, the whole thing is completely put together. Doesn't look like you have to mount the camera on there. It's already done for us. And here's what the back of it looks like. Pretty simple. You just have two wires, a white and a black. Also in the box is this installation kit, as well as this quick start guide. And here is that installation kit, which contains everything you need to install it. They even give you a sticker to put over the switch that powers your security lights. Because, well, obviously you don't want that switch turned off. Otherwise you have no security light or camera. Taking a closer look here out of the box, you can see everything is very well protected. We have plastic over the camera lens, plastic over the lenses for the LED lights, and even plastic over the motion sensor. On the back here, I do feel a nice silicone gasket. And for those of you like me who are wondering just how they attached this camera, well, let's take a look. If I go ahead and pull up on the camera, you can see, well, the camera is standing up, but the base is staying still. And that's because they do have a screw in here holding it in place. And you can see here, we don't have 6 feet of cord to deal with. It is a nice short custom length. And taking a look at the back of this motion sensor, you can see there is another port here that is covered with this plug, and it is a full-size USB port. This is where you would plug in another camera if desired. From what I understand, this security light was developed with Home Depot, or maybe for Home Depot. I'm not exactly clear on that, but as soon as I found that out, I went on the Home Depot website, and sure enough, they had 15 of them in stock at my local Home Depot. So I went there this morning and picked one up. My cost at Home Depot was $99 before tax, and I'm guessing that's probably pretty close to what you'd pay by ordering it from Wyze with shipping. And here's what that Wyze Cam floodlight looks like installed. You can see I have one of the floodlights pointed in the direction of the camera, and the other floodlight is pointed in the complete opposite direction. This way I'll have light pointing in two different directions, one in the direction of the camera, and the other one in exactly the opposite direction. My plan is to utilize that extra USB outlet on this floodlight and put another camera facing the opposite direction. This Wyze Cam floodlight was fairly easy for me to install, but that's because I've installed floodlights many times in the past. I would say if you have no experience installing a floodlight, definitely hire a professional to do it. For me, the hardest part is being up on top of a ladder. That in itself makes the whole job a lot harder than if you were, for example, standing on the ground. So my recommendation is to hire a professional. The install went fairly quick and fairly easily. After you get the light wired up and mounted, the only thing left to do is to pair the Wyze Cam V3 just like you normally would. Also, in the app, when you're looking at your Wyze Cam V3 that you just set up with your floodlight, you can see there is a little floodlight icon up here in the right corner. All right, it's now dark enough where I can really show you exactly what this floodlight looks like at night. So on this side of the shop, we have the typical security floodlight like I showed you before. There's also two wall sconces. You can see one here and one over here. And if you look right up here, you can see the floodlight by Wyze. All the light you see on the wall here, as well as all of this light, is coming directly from that Wyze floodlight. As I showed you earlier, the two lights are facing opposite directions, and that's really so I can get a good use of this light. These floodlights are actually decently bright, and one of them does provide a lot of light. So in this situation, this front-facing LED provides tons of light to light up this entire yard over here, and including this driveway over there. And this rear LED provides a lot of light to light up the entire area over here. This shadow you see on the door here is being cast by this sconce light from the the Wyze LED up there. So this area does already have a lot of light, and I may end up adjusting this light, but for now I have it pointing this way, adding to the entire light situation here on the driveway. All right, now I'm standing in that grassy, leafy area with the front-facing light and where the camera is pointed, and you can see just how much light is coming off of that one LED. There is plenty of light. This is a really bright LED. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you is exactly what this camera is recording. So let's switch to that now. Okay, we are now being recorded by the Wyze Cam V3 that is attached to the floodlight. And what do you think? I'm probably, I don't know, 15 feet back from the light. I'm gonna walk back even farther. It's hard to look at that because the LED is so incredibly bright. But now you can see me waving my arms, and here I go again. It's almost too bright, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's gonna help or not help the camera to be able to see who the person is, but it might actually be better suited for a farther away situation. Okay, now I'm really far away on the gravel driveway, and this seems like a slightly better situation to where that LED light is lighting me up way over here and the camera can actually see me. So here I am again, waving my arms. I have now these blind spots in my eyes from looking at that LED. So don't do that. It's way too bright for sure. It will damage your vision. So that was actually pretty interesting. I didn't realize that standing that close to the camera, that LED is actually going to make me completely white. So it whites me out on camera. I'm not really going to be able to make out what the person looks like that I'm recording. If it's like a bad guy trying to break into my garage or something like that, I'm not really going to be able to see what they look like. So I'm going to have to see if there's settings in there that can help to adjust the exposure of the camera in that situation. I don't know. If not, Wyze, if you're watching, maybe that's something we can add into this. So as for the floodlight functionality, yeah, this thing works really well. The lights are incredibly bright. As for the floodlight matched with a camera, the jury's still out. It seems like it would be a slam dunk, but what I just saw on my phone, how I was completely bleached out because of how bright the light was, really makes me second guess that. Well, that'll do it for this first look at the Wyze Cam Flood Light. So far, it looks like a pretty cool product. I love using floodlights, and that Wyze Cam V3 is a good little camera. Pair the two, and it looks like they've got a winner. But as with anything, only time will tell. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And also, if you're not a subscriber to The General Expert here on YouTube, consider subscribing. My name's Jimmy for The General Expert, and I will see you in the next one.